Clap, because I've been living in New York for almost 3 weeks, not really, like 2.5, and I am applying for another job. Yay, let's go. So this video is gonna be all about survival jobs as an actor, because why is it so hard? I don't know. You need to be thinking about it sooner than you think. And I wish that I knew more about it before, because by the time you're 23, I haven't done anything besides theater. What am I supposed to put in an application for a real job? Huh? It's so weird. It's so weird. So let's talk about it. I have been lucky enough to work in theater almost my whole life. Not my whole life. The first paying job I ever had was an acting job. The first job I ever had, well, technically it was a princess party job, but then after that, princess party job, that's like literally theater basically. But there's a side job you can do, hey, write it down. Then after that, my first like real job, I worked as a hostess at a restaurant. To this day, literally, genuinely, the only non-creative job that I've ever done. I haven't been super stressing about getting a job because I have so much savings, and y'all, that's my #1 recommendation if you're moving to New York, get your savings high. Besides the summer before and after my freshman year of college where I worked at a restaurant, I have been working in theater, and that is so awesome. I'm so grateful for that and so blessed, but it makes it so hard to apply for survival jobs. And y'all, it's so weird because I had never written a cover letter in my life before 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because I applied for a couple of jobs right before I came here. I just think it's so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, writing a cover letter. I'm almost 24 years old and I've never done that in my life, but I did it. One of the most important things when you're an actor, I think, is finding lots of sources of income. If they can be passive or something that you can do from anywhere, that is the ideal, that's the goal. I think that's the smartest thing to do, so that way when you go on a contract, you can continue making money. Because if I'm in New York, let's say I make $800 a week. I don't know, I'm just making up a number. Let's say I make $800 a week working in New York. Well, then I book a theater job. Cool, but I have to go to like Connecticut or something, or like Florida, who knows? And I'm only gonna be making $500 a week there. You don't wanna be losing money. Have some side streams of income that are always coming in. I can still get those. So let's say that that's $300 of my $800 I make in New York. Well then boom, when I go to Denver to make $500 a week, I still am making that $300. And so therefore, I'm not losing money by taking theater jobs, right? We don't wanna lose money making theater jobs. We will. But like, that's not the ideal. We wanna be able to not have our income dip when we take theater jobs, because those are jobs we want. Ignore this, things are air drying. I was doing laundry this morning, but I have an interview today in literally 20 minutes, 18 minutes for a survival job. So grateful to have the opportunity to do this interview. You have to be recommended to even apply. Doing this interview, which is very exciting. We will see how it goes, which also, y'all, this is literally only the third interview I have ever done in my entire life. This is very exciting. I also have an audition, they call it an audition and not an interview, to be a group fitness instructor at Barry's boot camp in about 2.5 weeks. So I am more nervous for that one, but very excited for both of these opportunities. Tomorrow, I have an audition for Barry's boot camp to be an instructor, which is very exciting because this would be like my dream survival job. And I'm a little stressed out because I just had 2 really big auditions that were due yesterday and today. And I finished all the filming yesterday, which was great, but that took a lot of my time and energy. And I was planning on using this weekend to prep for the Barry's audition. Things did not go according to plan. It's the hard thing about getting a survival job. Obviously, you have to make enough money to be able to live here, but you can't let your survival jobs like run and dictate your life and be above your career as an actor. And obviously I'm in a fortunate position right now where I still have a ton of savings. I've only been here 1 month. I am able to make those choices. I just wanna always be mindful that I am not prioritizing any kind of survival job over my career. I don't even know if I'm really gonna get seen for it. I honestly don't know, because they initially gave us 2 times. One was 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 to 4. I also do social media as one of my side gigs, and that's one of my streams of income. And I got invited to a very exciting Broadway influencer event tomorrow, and it starts at 2 p.m. and I need to be there around 1:30. So when I got this invitation, I was so excited, such a great opportunity. It's the first time I've ever been invited to any kind of influencer event, which is crazy. And I'm very grateful and I really wanna go. Obviously it's at a Broadway theater. It's for MJ on Broadway and I love that show. I emailed Barry's as soon as I got this invitation asking, can I go to the morning session? I'm no longer available for the afternoon. And they did not respond to me. I got an email from them yesterday saying, here's your time slot, it's 2 to 4 p.m. I emailed them back and I said, I can't do that anymore. Is there any way I can do the morning? And they said, the morning is full, but you could do 12 to 2. And I emailed them back and I said, that would be great. Is there any way I'm able to leave at 1 or 1:15? And they did not respond to me. So this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to show up tomorrow morning before 10 a.m. before the first slot. And I'm gonna ask the front desk, if anyone doesn't show up, if there's any way I can get in earlier, can I go now? And if that's not possible, I'll ask, can I go at the very beginning of that time slot? From the way they worded it, I don't think that you necessarily are gonna be there the whole time, but you potentially could be. So hopefully that works out. If it doesn't work out and I can't get seen, I am going to leave at 1 to go to the influencer event because I want to keep getting invited to those events and I'm bringing a guest. My friend is meeting me there. So it's like, I'm going to that, which is unfortunate. So I really hope that this works out because I really want to be an instructor at Barry's. Anyways, let's get into the actual prep. I've picked a song. Basically, all we have to do is 1 3-minute workout we have to lead. I am going to practice leading it now. I have like 1 or 2 things kind of planned to say, but this is kind of like improv and I feel like it's going to come kind of naturally. I'm just going to run through it twice and that's going to be my prep for it. I'm nervous about it, but I feel like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna go well. What they asked us to do, it's a 3-minute workout split. The first minute is supposed to be walkout push-ups. Second minute is reverse lunges with a bicep curl. The next 30 seconds are squat with a dumbbell press. And then the last 30 seconds are burpees. And that's it. So I'm gonna go practice that right now and I'll let y'all know if I get to audition and how it goes. Y'all, I did it. I did my audition for Barry's. I was able to get in, which was so great. And I had time to go home before the influencer event too, which is very exciting. There's a lot of people auditioning for that job, so I have no idea if I'll get it. But I do feel like I did a good job and I was funny. Very grateful that they let me in early. I wasn't necessarily funny, but I was like very motivational. I cracked a joke or 2. I did Hey Baby Drop It to the Floor by Pitbull and T-Pain and it starts with Mr. Worldwide, T-Pain. And so I started with, it's Mr. Worldwide, T-Pain and me, Camille. That was my intro for myself. I had a lot of fun. It was hard, y'all, because they had us go in 3 groups for this first time slot. Thankfully, they let me go in the last group, so I was last. Thankfully, I was able to go and I can still make this event, but that means I had to sit through 6 different people doing the exact same workout and do it. It was 3-minute workout and that's it, but we didn't really rest in between. And the first one was walking out into a push-up and the last one was burpees. I've never done so many push-ups in my life and I was struggling, but I killed the instructor part. I'm just not used to doing that many push-ups and I also grabbed 10-pound weights. So I was doing bicep curls and overhead press also for half the workout. That was a lot, y'all. Next time I would be grabbing 5-pound weights. I thought I could handle 10, underestimated that. Feel good about it. Don't know if I'll hear. I know they're auditioning a lot of people, so not necessarily expecting to. I auditioned for Barry's like 2 weeks ago now, and so I feel like it's been enough time where I feel like I probably am not moving forward. I don't really know how that process works, and I don't think they tell you if you didn't get it. I'm just assuming that I didn't get it, but I do feel like I did a good job. Was proud of how I did. Now we're going to unpack and get into all of the potential survival jobs you can do. Starting with the ones I do, obviously. Big ones for actors are fitness jobs. Let me tell you, in the group that I went with for the Barry's audition, every single person except for one were actors and dancers. Okay, so if that tells you anything. Other areas in fitness, so obviously there's group fitness instructing, personal training. A lot of people work front desk at fitness places as well, or front desk at hotels. Pilates is its own certification and it is a lot harder to get than other fitness certifications. Just FYI, you need a lot of hours in order to get certified in Pilates. So trust when you go to that Pilates class, the instructors really are trained. Other ones that a lot of actors do that I do is social media. There are a couple ways you can make money within social media. One of them is UGC. UGC stands for user generated content, and basically the idea is that you are doing sponsored content, but you don't have to be an influencer or have followers to do it. So you're making a brand deal, but instead of posting it to your page, you just send it to the brand and then they use it and post it on their page. So when you see an ad and it's somebody talking about how they love this product or whatever, that's usually UGC. Obviously, that's very similar to doing a commercial as an actor. So that's something that you can do within the realm of social media, and you don't have to have followers for that. For me, I make money from views, from having followers. I've done a few brand deals, but not a lot, because I won't do a brand deal that I don't really align with and believe in. I am really close to monetization on YouTube, which is very exciting. So hopefully my social media income can get a little bit bigger, but the current only way that I do make money is from the TikTok creativity program. Recently it's been less. Sometimes I make a couple $100s a month, or the most I've ever made was almost $2,000 in one month, which was amazing, but I had a lot of viral videos that month, and you don't get a ton of viral videos every day. That was kind of an anomaly, but usually I get a couple $100 a month. Lately it's been more like 100 a month, to give you full financial transparency. Hopefully YouTube works out as well. And I have been getting a little bit more of brand deals reaching out, which is really great, especially just being in New York and living in New York. Like the second I moved here, everybody knew, which was crazy. I want to start being more proactive on that, creating a like media kit and sending it to brands, because I've never done that before, but I want to kind of start reaching out to brands and seeing what I can get, because I do want to get bigger streams of income in things that I really enjoy doing, like content creation and my choreography business, which that's the last survival job that I do. My choreography business. I started a business. I completely am self-employed doing it. I started it a year and a half ago. All I do is advertise it on my social media, and I get email inquiries, and I just built it from there. And within the realm of having a choreography business, you can have a coaching business or a voice lesson business. So those are some of the obvious things that are in the industry of voice teacher, dance teacher, working at a studio, being a choreographer, or just doing something else in the realm of theater. And there are also other ways of working in theater like this. So you can work at Broadway theaters by ushering, working front of house, working at a box office, or bartending for a Broadway show. Those are great things, and you know you'll be available for auditions because it's during the Broadway schedule, so it's mostly at night. And we have the obvious ones, which is retail, babysitting and nannying, serving, or bartending. To be a server or a bartender in New York, just FYI, throwing it out there, this is again like why you need to think about your survival job before you move to New York a little bit, so that way you can already have the certifications you need or the experience you need. To work as a server or bartender in New York, typically you need experience as a server or a bartender outside of New York. If you don't have experience, you're probably not gonna get hired here because it's competitive. Everything is here. Another big thing that people do that you don't really need experience for is catering. I know a lot of actors that cater. I believe how it works is you can choose your schedule in a way. Usually it's gonna be one job is one day, and usually it's the whole day. Usually you make a good amount of money from doing that. You can be a dog walker, pet sitter, house sit. Also, my friend teaches gymnastics. That's pretty similar to like being a dance teacher. You can work for companies that do children's theater. And finally, you can substitute teach and be a substitute teacher. That is my little list of survival jobs. Hopefully it was helpful. Comment what survival job you do or which ones interest you. If you have any others that I did not mention. I am trying to start posting every single Sunday. So I will see y'all next Sunday. And thanks so much for watching, and go check out last week's video.
Subscribe, comment, and like this photo. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.